Well, welcome back. It is the One Show and we are live. Make sure you send us a tweet, a Facebook message, or send us a message in our inbox. Let us hear from you today. As we always do on Thursdays, we celebrate just very ordinary citizens of Ghana doing extraordinary things. I guess bracing all odds. People just come here to inspire us to be better than we are. And today we have Kojo in the house. I like your eyes.
Really?
Yes, it's brown, isn't it? It's hazel or something.
Yes, you're not the first person to say it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you've been having a lot of compliments about your eyes.
Exactly.
You look like you have cast or something.
Some of which to be like
that. Yeah. No, but good to see you. Good to see you on the show.
Good to see you guys too.
Good to have you.
Now, you have an extraordinary story, Kojo.
Yeah.
And you just give us a little summary of your journey.
Yet, I would say that it is kind of single parent kind of background, whereby I used to come from a single parent background, and then you to struggle from school through to secondary school, through to training school, and then in the university right now, you know how to hustle hard.
Right.
I know family members, not necessarily that they don't care, but they do care, but everybody has his or her individual thing that he or she is doing, problems. So you need not to rely much or solely on them actually. And then you need to, at a point in time, you need to find different means and ways of coming up with your own ideas to sustain yourself. So yes, I would say that it's been rough along the way. But determination, perseverance has always brought me where I am currently.
How were you able to grasp all these words that you just used to describe yourself, and then also to build on your self-belief? How did you do that?
Well, I did that because, one, I set goals for myself. And I know that these are achievable goals that I can do it long-term and short-term as well too. I surrounded myself with people who wouldn't give me advice that will criticize me more, but give me constructive advice. And then not my peers, actually. Most of my friends are people that are way older than me. Those are the people that I surrounded myself with. So at least when they move, I also move. And then it got to a point in time that when I talk on phone and people see me in person, they're like, are you the person that I was talking to on phone? I'm like, yeah, you are too deep in thought. I'm like, well, it's because of the people that I move with. And these people have been able to carry me around through life.
I know sometimes the question is asked, what happened to him? And then the answer is always, life happened to him. Now, let's go back a little bit to your story, because you did say that based on all the difficulties you went through as a child with your mom, you know, struggling to make ends meet, not having family support, not because they can't support, but because they also have their own issues they're dealing with. You came up with so many ideas. Would you say that that was a hustless mentality that set in? Because, Charlie, we have to hustle, you know?
Yeah, I quite remember in secondary school, I don't think secondary school, where sometimes you call home and nobody even replies. I mean, those are the times that you go into your chop box, as we all call it, and then just a few quantity of gari, sugar left in them, boys shito like that, and boys need to hustle around these things, whereby we put water on the gari and then you sit behind the gari for the gari to rise up or to expand or to increase. And then you do some and do soakings, and you do another one with shito, and the rest you keep it, and you wait for it. And I was like, listen, this is hard times for me. I was the SRC vice president by then, but Charlie, things were a little bit difficult. You know? So I thought of a different idea about using my position to better myself in school, and also to build the brand of the school. So then to the visibility of the school outside the four walls was, let me get a school back for people. So at least when people come home, they could flex around with it a little bit. So then I spoke to some few people, they bought into the idea, and then I gathered a few amount of money. And what I believe in, that whatever idea that comes into your mind, try to tap into other people's expertise, and that was what I did.
Weren't you scared that somebody will steal that idea? Because it was a bright idea.
Great. Because I knew the people that I was dealing with. Actually, these are people that I said they wouldn't give you destructive kind of. They would always encourage you to go on. So I came to Accra, went to Dansoma to see Obibini Clothing. He's a fantastic guy. And then I spoke to him, and he was like, "Listen, Kojo, I can do this," because he was into it. He was in sewing. He had started fresh. And I was like, "Charlie, give me 20 pieces for the start. I can't give you all." Then I went Guys, it was so amazing. The first set, over the weekend, I sold everything.
You sold everything?
I was like, Charlie, this is business.
Right.
I need to tap into this thing. I spoke to my SRC patron, who happens to be the assistant headmaster, and it was fantastic. He also came on board, gave me his full support, and the following week, I had almost about 200 pieces. Then Obibini moved himself from Accra to Ebri to bring the bags to me.
Right.
And this sustained me, and my friends as well too. Most of them were dadabis, but you see, sometimes they call home and nobody's ready to even come to campus to come in. Not that the money is not to support them. So I fended for myself in that area, and then also part of it also got to my friends as well too, and it was so fantastic. And I would say that after that, I got out of secondary school, came to do my
You mean you graduated?
I graduated from secondary school, came out to do training in journalism, and Charlie, you have to walk from La Paz to Capri.
But you know the funny thing, Kojo, with all the school bags you sold and putting the school's name on the map and everything else, you still left secondary school and you were walking distances to get to from point A to point B.
Because Joselyn, it's not a matter of you getting the money and spending it like that. Sometimes you need to save. So I was into more of the saving and more of a little bit of doing economical part of it as well too. And you come out and you have to pay for my training fees. And as for broadcast journalism students, I have to pay as well too. So sometimes the money coming up and everything like that, you need to, at least if you know you can trek a little bit.
So at this time, where were your family? I mean,
my mom was around. My mom was around. Family members were there. Sometimes I feel that the dream was too big for them. What I really wanted to be, I studied science, and I said, listen to me, I want to go into the communications. And they were like, listen, we will support you. I came out with fantastic grades, and they're like,
they said they will not support you.
I came out, I said I want to do a communication, I want to be in communication. Like, no.
I mean, from science,
you were
expecting to be a doctor.
No. So go straight to the medicines and stuff like that. I was like, no, that's not my field. I can't do it.
Because you knew exactly what you wanted to do.
Yeah, but why did you go and do science if you knew that you wanted to do communication?
Well, actually, I went to secondary school. One funny thing is that I went and then I wanted to do general art. And my headmaster called me into his office and was like, are you a normal boy? I was like, yes, sir. I was like, you have very good grades. Don't go and do this course. Straight up, he pushed me into science. We were almost about 60 something in the class. Within the first 3 weeks, we left with only 20 people. Physics, elective maths had scared people away. I wanted to run away, but I was like, listen, Kojo, you are here. You can do it. And by God's grace, I graduated from it.
You did it because the headmaster said it.
Exactly, not because really I wanted to do it.
But I still see you as the kind of guy who can, look, we can put you in the engineering course and you will still come out and make it happen because like you have it in you. You know, you have the self-determination. And with that, you always be successful.
Exactly. Probably because I didn't have the basic orientation from the initial stage. This comes back to the system whereby you take your child to the school and then you go and do any course. But if somebody had really educated me on this and this and this and that, I would have developed something.
That's something that's is lacking. But I mean, it's getting better in our schools. You know, we have these career mentors who would sort of mentor us into what we want to choose in future. Now, what kept you going amidst all this? Because you see, like you said, all your friends at Araba, they had it, even though sometimes the calls will not go through. They still had it. But how did you keep your head above water, you know, through all this?
I said to myself, Kojo, listen, if nobody has been able to make it in your family, the honors is on you. Try to lift the image of your family.
In your case, that's what it was.
You get me. I was like, listen, this is your time. You can make it. At least you've been able to have friends and you've had some kind of network. Not necessarily you having the money. Use the network that you've created to build your own life together. And then I said that these are my plans. This is what I want to be. I strategize in such a way that at least I know that at the end of every month, I have accomplished something in my life. And that kept me going. I didn't look at my surroundings at all.
I mean, talking about your surroundings, you were just telling us about your friends being that about, you know, boys and all that. And you know that comes with some sort of mentality. You know, looking at you, didn't they laugh at you at some point? Didn't they tease you or pick on you? And is that not the reason why you're able to, you know, to find that self-confidence?
Well, I would say, P.Y., I would say that among all, I have a special kind of talent that among all my friends, at least anywhere we go, I stand tall among them. You know, anywhere we go, I just stand tall among them all. Because I relate to people very well. I can easily make friends if I come to a particular location, easily make friends. And my way of communicating with you, it's an easy way. So automatically with people respect. Just like with respect. They just like me. So not because of your money background, but for me, my interpersonal personality stuff like that. That is what I use.
You sound like a Leo.
Well, there was no envy whatsoever from your end. I mean, I know that there were days that you look and you say, Charlie, these Air Force my boys wearing, I wish I had one of those. You know? Shouldn't that envy, was it, you know, the question I want to know is there something like negative and positive envy? Because sometimes you're envious of somebody and it actually charges you to work harder. Was it like that with you?
Yeah, it was. I quite remember at a point in time that most of my friends had to put on certain kind of designer words and other stuff like that. I'm like, Charlie, Kojo, I'll be you too. If you dog this thing somewhere, I go be. I was like, Charlie,
because they didn't rep.
They didn't rep. You see the move. Then I was like, listen, you can make it on your own. A little bit of enviness to that thing, but it was a positive thing to urge me on. You know, pushing me on. And then other way around, they were also envy of me. Exactly, because anywhere I go, at least I have the admiration of many people, and then they go like, could you cry? What is it about?
You don't get nothing.
You don't get nothing. But Charlie, still, you pass your way through like that. But I would say that it's because I identified my stronghold and I built upon it very, very well. And then I tried to pull my people, my friends around me, made them understand that, I mean, we all have different areas. We are rich, I am this. And sometimes they come to me for consultation. Of
course.
Kojo, I want to do this. How do I go about it? And then I have that kind of business training background from my grandmom. You know, we used to sell. So
I knew there had to be something from the roots.
You know, exactly. You know, at the age of about, say, 8 years, 9 years, selling, you know, real selling. Sometimes.
What were you selling?
Kenke.
Tomatoes?
Kenke. My grandmom used to prepare food for New Japan Secondary School. And that was where I was. So I was straightly introduced to it from there. And then where
so you had the business acumen right there
kind of
from the beginning.
Mentality and how to be smart with money.
You still tearing chobo and all that.
Oh, then chobo things and things. Not small, you know. It'd be small, but at least it wouldn't take much of the profit away from my grandmom, you know. And it was so I had the basic training from there. So sometimes they come to me and like, Kojo, I want to do this. How do I go about it? I'm like, go this way, go this way. And before they move, they call Charlie, Kojo, Charlie. The thing is also.
That's it.
So they had that respect for me.
It's a gift you have.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm humbled. Seriously, I'm really humbled. I'm really humbled, whereby I have my friends coming close to me, and I feel that I have a responsibility. I owe them something that at least I can also push them ahead. Through me, I would say that most of my friends have been able to identify their area that they think that they can always be strong about it.
Now you sound so positive, and you know, you sound like you were pressing on, irrespective of what is going on. We're just working hard. There has to be some temptations along the way. What were some of them?
Yeah, Charlie, Joselyn. I think when I started my first day of reporting, I was at National Theatre. I had my laptop, my camera, and everything like that. And then I had to leave them behind to go take some pictures on the stage. And then when I came back, I didn't find my laptop.
Oh no!
I didn't find my recorder, and these were company properties. So I felt really bad. Then a lady after the program approached me. I was like, I saw you putting certain things over here, but now you don't have them. Why you feel so bad? I see that something is. I'm like, yeah, this is what has happened. And you know, she offered to sort me out and everything like that. But oh, this is my card. Call me. I called her and. Charlie P.Y., the way things were going, do that, do this, and I was like, Charlie,
do what kind of that?
You know, sometimes if you really want to help me, you know, probably meet you in your office. I'll come and then give me maybe the money to go pay and everything like that. But oh, what are you doing today? I'm in this hotel. Could you meet me there?
Are you serious?
No, man, Charlie, this is too much. You know, this is really too much. And she was not the only one. A lot of people. I meet people, and I think that the first comment that you passed and said, you're like, you have beautiful eyes. You know, I like them. I'm like, great, thank you. Like, okay, is there a way of getting to know you more? I'm like, fantastic, you know. And then we get along, and along the way, some will come up with juicy kind of.
Right.
So
and with what you're going through, if you're not
going through,
yeah.
you know,
you fall for it.
You fall for it.
Yeah.
But I would say that sometimes you have to uphold your values.
Yes.
You know, if you don't uphold your values, you will fall for nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And rising up again is going to be so difficult in life for you. So I stood up and I was like, listen, these are my values. I cannot be somewhere someday and somebody will say that, oh, that guy, because I know by all means I'm going to be on TV one day.
Right.
And
you
I'm
are on TV right
already,
now.
you get me. And somebody will say something, oh, that guy sitting there. Charlie, forget him. Maybe some woman self who come up.
So
he
sugar
writes
mama.
some sugar mama. So on Friday they write some sugar mama. You know, yes. And they promise with cars.
What kind of business are you into right now, currently?
Right now, currently, I'm in school right now, African University College of Communication, studying strategic communication, advertising and PR. And then I'm into online advertising and also consultancy. So I do more of the online kind of stuff.
Now, you know what, before we go, time is up. What advice do you have for young men like you? You know, I don't think we have made it yet, but you are still on your way and you're on the right path. You didn't compromise your values. So what do you have to tell all our young ones watching right now?
What I would say that, guys, listen, I mean, you be tall, you be thick tall, you be dark, you be fair in complexion, you know, the ladies will come around you. But at the end of the day, what I want you to do is that you need to set your goals. You need to surround yourself with people who really understand you.
Exactly.
You also need to be very, very determined in life. Uphold your values, because at the end of the day, when you fall for nothing, rising up again will be very, very difficult. The world is big, but if you don't take it, you can never fit into it. You get me?
Thank
you. It's
you.
very, very huge.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
And all the best. You know, maybe you can do some advertising for me on your with your
Some
online.
PR.
You know, thank you so much for coming. I like Kojo. Kojo said, you know, you need to stand for something or you fall for nothing.